This is the final part of Chapter 7. I can feel it. The last time we ran into the lucky boss, and quite to my surprise, we managed to land onto the shop before using the shop token. The thing I was really hopeful I would be able to do, because otherwise I would have had to use the lucky token and the shop token, and that would have sucked. As you can plainly see, we can no longer buy things. And on purpose, after the final boss fight of Chapter 7, I'm not gonna have anyone heal because of this token. Even if I might not be needing it. But we'll see, honestly, because of not trusting that I'm gonna roll any lower than a 4, because I know that's how many spaces. It's like, after I roll onto a safe space, it'd be then landing on the healing space. Any higher than a 4, and I wouldn't be able to get it. Otherwise, it's any higher than a 5. But we're almost there, and I'm going to show the enemy that you get from rolling doubles, because I don't trust I'm gonna be making it all the way up to those enemies originally anyways. I start off good because I got 2, but I am gonna show the enemies anyway. I'm gonna roll the 2 dice anyway, but I'm using the clause of rolling doubles if I don't get any doubles.
I got doubles. Well, good grief. I always doubt what it's like I said, negative thinking ends up winning for me, and I don't like it, but that is what ends up happening. I would have used the 2 rooks for this. Shadow clones. So dark clones or shadow clones, there are always 2 of them, and they become Shadow Mario and Shadow Luigi. Makes one wonder why Bowser didn't get cloned. The purple haze ahead seems to have formed these 2, so whatever it is, it seems powerful. You get no coins, but you do get 25 star points each, which is 50. Second time you get 15, and every other time 5. The first time they both give you an Ultra Shroom and Golden Leaf. So because of that, I'm gonna end up getting rid of some items too, which would lead to me probably getting rid of 2. I might get rid of 2 of these or 2 of these. So this is no longer applicable. I'm going to first use Mario's ultimate move, Red Star. Now this time I'm actually gonna roll 3 dice and then 4 dice at the end. Sorting them out to see what I would get the most of. Ends up that what I got the most of is either 1s. Wait. I got 4 1s, 3 5s, 2 4s. Wait a minute. 3 4s. Despite that, I'm going for the 5s. I'm giving them both the chance to attack as well. None. I definitely should have tried something different. I'm gonna see what happens here before I decide on it. Yeah. Double checking my webcam, see if you can see those numbers. Because I got these low rolls after that. So I got 39 damage. Luigi, I'm using Tanuki Impact. I did get the triple damage. 13 times 3. Not that great of an ult, but it could have been worse. And then Bowser, I'm using his ultimate move, the Mecha Rise. Ends up being heads, 3 tails, 5 heads, 6 heads again, 5 tails, so 42. 42. So, aimed at this guy. 19. Okay. Heads. Doesn't go through Bowser's defense, I don't think. And I got heads on both. Mario, I'm going to use not Cat Dive because that won't matter. I'm going to use Super Hammer. 10. Tails. Tails again, so it's just 10. Luigi, I'm using Super Jump. 12. I'm gonna do this first. Then I'm gonna flip the coin to see if I take 6 recoil. Yep. Bowser, I'm using Fire Breath. 16. 24. Nope, 21. I'm mistaken. Heads. I'm using a basic attack for Mario. Now, if anything, I'm gonna use Cat Dive just to use up FP. I got 7. 15. Luigi, I'm gonna use Green Cyclone. Whoa, great. Double 1s. Probably the worst roll to get for Green Cyclone. Flipping 3 coins. Tails. Heads. Tails. So only 4. Spiny roll for Bowser. 3. Tails. Tails. My word. Tails, so Luigi takes the full 10 damage. Now for Mario's turn, I'm using a golden leaf, bringing back a golden jar. Depending on the roll, which it seems like it's going to be a good roll, I would have used it on Bowser if it wasn't a good roll. Yeah. Ended up being 11, 20, 32, 37. I'm using that for Mario. And then for Luigi, I'm using a golden leaf again. I'm only doing this to get the guarantee on the items. 29? Yeah, 29. I'm gonna use that for Bowser. Bowser, I'm using just Slash. 12. If I get double damage, it's over. I do. Level is now 16. Ultra Shroom. Not knowing what the level up reward was again. I remembered that I think it was HP. No, it was HP and FP for this one. So now everyone's HP is 85. But everyone's FP is now 45. Bowser would have been able to use his ultimate move again, but didn't want to do that yet. Ultra Shroom or Max Shroom. And what I will choose is the Max Shroom. And for what I'm getting rid of an Ultra Shroom. My puppy. Baby. Ultra Shroom and Golden Jar. I'm gonna get rid of one of my Ultra Shrooms, so really I only got the Golden Leaf. She thinks I'm not recording. She doesn't know I am.
I'm not coming back for long on my recording. So, yeah, on the update scale of leveling up to having to this, level 16. So the star points are 29, having just shown the enemies right before the Bailey being very persuasive. That's not the word. I'm trying to figure out the word. Persistent. That was close. Now I get to see what the heck enemies I encounter next. Hoping I don't roll a 1, because this will be a long one if that's the case. And all the way up to the Dark Haze, this is gonna be an entire part, no matter how long it takes.
4. Land on a safe space. 1. Now let's see what we encounter before I end up either showing it or not. I'll delete that thing after. That was a mistake. 9. So I don't show the same enemy twice. So I am going to show this off because it's a new enemy. It is Dark Magikoopas. There are multiple, and despite their robe colors, they all do the same thing. This dark power seems to have made them think that in a non-tactical manner, making them only attack by flying towards the heroes. You always battle 4 of them. Only getting 10 star points per. So yeah, there are 4 of them. Imagine that Kamek fight where it's green, red, white, and yellow, but they're all the same. It did say 10 star points each, right? Yeah. So 40 star points here. Starting off with Cat Dive. I plan on using the 1 reroll in the final battle. Didn't start good, but ended in an okay fashion. But all of that is 20 damage. 8 plus 8. Nope, 16. So for Bowser, I'm going to use Slash. For Luigi, I'm also using an ultimate move. Tanuki Impact. I got it. I got the 5 times damage. That's the second time that I've ever gotten that. So now I gotta add up all of this. 12, 22, 28. 28 times 5. But I'm actually doing 28 times 2, so it's 56 damage. So yeah. I only used that ultimate move not thinking I was gonna deal the 5 times 5 damage. 12, so if I get the double damage, I'm knocking out the other one. Nope. Instead, I'm aiming for one of them. 40% of 12 divided by 5 first. 2.4, so it's 5. That was a crazy start. Heads for Mario. Tails for Bowser. And heads for Luigi. Cat Dive again for Mario. 15. Luigi, I'm using... Let's do the green Cyclone. 5. Tails. Tails again. Heads. So that dealt only 4 damage. Bowser, I'm using his ultimate move. Using Mecha Rise. And for this, I'm doing 40% damage. 6. Tails. I'm doing my genius math of divided by 5, then multiplying that by 2. Because it seems to work so well before. 3. Heads again. 6. Tails. 6 again. Tails. So it's 39. No. 37. 37 divided by 5 is 7.4. So it dealt 15 damage. tails, heads, tails. So it dealt 8 damage. Mario, I'm gonna use... Let's do Cat Dive one more time. Luigi's able to use its ultimate again. So I got 19. You'll see what I'm going for. Luigi, I'm using Super Jump. 14. In terms of damage, I'm gonna go to that. You won't see where I'm pointing, but you'll see where I'm aiming. Just first doing the math. 14 was what I got. It's up to 6 damage. So I am actually gonna knock it out. But do I take 7 recoil damage from that? Yes. Bowser, I'm using Fire Breath for him. That was what I was trying to do. 13. 13 divided by 5, 2.6. So it is 5 damage anyway. So now there's only one left. Tail, so he takes a full 6 damage. For Mario's turn, I'm gonna use Iron Jump. 14. 2.8. So 6 damage. Luigi, I'm using Tanuki Impact. Didn't do any added damage, unfortunately. 6, 12, 18, 23. Then 23 divided by 5 is 4.6, so it's 9. Then I guess for Bowser's turn, I'm going to use Slash. Not that it matters. 13. Heads is over. At this point, I'm gonna end up showing one more enemy because it's the only enemy I haven't shown yet. I've shown the Blights, but I haven't shown the Dark Macaufals yet. 3. So it doesn't even matter. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I roll another 6, then it's the boss fight, which I'm gonna cut for again. It's a 6. I'm not able to show them.
So I am cutting again. That sucks I wasn't able to show the Dark Macaufals. I just have to remember that when I come back. I'm at the boss fight, not having defeated it yet. Of course, I will remember it because as soon as I watch a certain thing that's happening on the day of my recording, then I will come back to recording this and battle the boss. And the boss's theme is gonna be something that you would actually hope that would be. Let alone I'm gonna set it up so that you won't see that tedious setup. I will show this though, the boss that is led. This is the enemy that I wasn't able to show you. Dark Macaufal. HP 50, attack 8, defense 4. The dark forms of Macaufal with a twist. They have 2 attacks. If you get heads, they use their body, slamming at one of the heroes at full force. Tails, the body acts like a missile and does 15 damage, exploding afterwards. And I'm not doing the head separation thing that they do. Instead, it's literally just the whole thing explodes. And you always battle 3 of them. Get 12 star points and 25 coins if you were before the shop. So it would have been 36 star points at that point. But for the boss, that is something I will show later. I just wanted to show the enemy that I missed. But I will show on my actual notes. And then its HP is this. That's not it. That's too many 6s. That is what to be expected. I'm just gonna cut and see if I'm right on the attack, because I don't know if the attack was... I know there were 3 attacks. I'm just gonna have to look for what it was, and then I'll come back with the theme in the battle. And how long I'm expecting the battle to take is probably around 20 minutes, maybe even 30. I just know that the final boss battle is likely going to be around an hour long. But the secret final battle, if I show it, will be probably even longer because it has more HP than the final boss, obviously.
Dark Star is the final boss of Chapter 7. It has 666 HP, its attack is 6, and its defense is 6. The devilish boss with a kind of unnatural return. It's as if it was created by something rather than formed. And whoever created it made it even more fearsome than before. It has 3 attacks, but the third attack is used when its HP goes to half. Flip 1 coin for the first 2. 2 for the third. When it gets down to half. 2 heads for or 1 if it's 1 coin. It charges and does that damage. Tails, it forms a dark wave dealing that much damage to everyone. Going through defense but not block. 2 tails, it shoots a huge beam dealing 15 damage. A truly ferocious foe, but when defeated, a dark mist appears and goes somewhere. You get 77 star points. And the golden jar of flower sap on my part. This is the last boss that will give you star points. Which means that this level up will be my last. So that means that how many star points I would literally have left is 46. So now we get started on this battle where the very first thing I'm going to do is the ultimate move for Mario. Doing the same thing for Luigi, so I'm going to keep that here. But for Bowser, I'm doing slash. And yes, I'm using a 10. No, I'm going to use 15. Red Star. Luigi will be the Tanuki Impact. That is if I didn't already use up the FP from before. I don't remember. What I do know is, let's see what I get from the dice. Last time I committed to 5s, I had hardly any. It's looking like 3s this time because I have 4 3s. Only 1. Nothing on attempt 3. 1 on attempt 4. I got so close. But I got triple damage anyways. So that dealt 22, 27 times 3, which is 81, 75 damage. I'm trying to think and nothing's coming up. Oh, I figured it out. Just gotta do this. And then this. Bowser, I'm using slash. I got triple 2s. It's not good, but it's still crazy enough. If I get tails here, which I do, it does no damage. I get heads, so only rams. And I get tails. Mario's turn, I'm using a golden jar, bringing back a golden jar. I think 45 was what it was. Luigi, I'm using the same thing. Except for not really, I'm using a golden leaf, bringing back a golden jar. 5. I'm gonna eliminate 2. This is what I used to do for my 3rd dice trial to help myself with the math. So that means that I got 34. Then for Bowser, I'm gonna use slash again, actually. Heads. So it dealt 22 damage. Tails. Tails for Mario. Oh, no, I should have flipped the coin for everyone. Which I did. Which I got tails twice. I'm just gonna stick to the fact that it dealt 6 damage to everyone. It goes to defense as well. Luigi can now use his move. Again. But for Mario, I'm gonna use Cat Dive. And for Luigi, I'm using Super Jump. So, 6, 15. And then for Bowser, I'm using the ultimate. Darn it. 16. Which does 10 damage. Safe. I'm gonna flip 2 coins anyway. 2 5s. It went underneath the paper. I got heads. Heads again. I'm gonna remember to flip the coin for this. Dang. Good grief. Well, great. It dealt 27 damage. Heads for everyone. So now I'm gonna have Mario use Cat Dive again. Luigi, I'm using Tanuki Impact. It is a better one. 22. Darn it. At least I got triple damage. So it is 12, 20, 60. Equating to 54. Then Bowser, I'm just gonna have him use Slash. 12. That would only deal 6 if I get tails. I got heads. So everyone will get their ultimates charged up after the next turn. I only didn't count it because it was lopsided. I didn't know whether to count it or not. Tails, so it did 3 damage to him. Cat Dive again for Mario. Green Cyclone for Luigi. And for Bowser, I'll decide on it later. That's not bad. 25 damage. It's about to reach its halfway point. Tails. Heads. And heads. It dealt 24 damage, 18 really. Bowser, I'm going to use I'm gonna use Spiny Shell. I'm gonna do the Spiny Roll. It was gonna be heads, but then it just flipped itself over. 2 tails, so it did 4 damage only. I was hoping that I'd get 2 heads so that I would already be on the angered phase. Tails. Tails. Now this time I'm not using ultimate moves. For Mario, I'm going to still use Cat Dive. Luigi, I'm using Super Jump. And then Bowser, I am going to use this ultimate. 21. 14. Did 8 damage. Then I'm gonna check if I got recoil damaged. Nope. 3. 3 again. Yeah. Tails. Heads. Well, that's a bad roll. Man, am I gonna get every lower number? Yes, I am. Tails. Heads for the 2. I think that was heads. Yeah, heads for the 3. So it's 16 for that one. 28. Lowering itself to 22. So it is this. Now I'm flipping the coin twice. Plenty of opportunity to show the Giga Ray off. Didn't happen here. Tails. For Mario's turn. Cat Dive again. For Luigi's turn, Tanuki Impact. And then for Bowser's turn, I'm using a Golden Leaf. Made a mistake by rolling 6 dice, so I'm gonna count these two. The other one would have been a 4 anyway, so I'm just gonna stick to the 5. 24. I'm just gonna do 18 plus 9, 27. I got 2 doubles, yay. So the calculation is 7, 8, 12, 17 times 3, 51, 45. 45. So it has this much. So I literally got... I'm just gonna show, might as well just do the calculation from there. Remove this and get these up to 6s. It doesn't matter. 6 times 6, 36. Tails, heads. Heads again, so 3 damage. I'm gonna just do this. I don't remember what the heck HP he had. Mario, I'm using a golden jar for Bowser. Luigi, I am not gonna use an item or any special moves. I'm gonna wait until the ultimate is back so I can use Tanuki Impact again. I'm using normal jump head, so it deals 9 damage. And then Bowser, I'm gonna use... I'm thinking Fire Breath this time. After that turn, everyone's ultimates are back again. 23, so it deals 17 damage. 196. We're getting close. Tails. Tails, finally a Giga Beam. Heads. I'm gonna use Starman this time, using everyone's ultimates here. 16, 22, 27. That's not lower than... What was I supposed? 16 or lower. It wasn't lower than 16. 2 doubles. I've been lucky with the triple damage so far. Makes it easier. 26 times 3, which is 78, 72. Goodness, that's a lot of damage actually. Heads. And heads again. 1, 3. I'm betting tails for the first one. Yep. So 20, 23, 32. So 26 damage. Heads. Heads again. I haven't had to use a single healing item. Heads. So for Mario's turn, I am going to use Cat Dive. Luigi's turn, I am using a basic attack. And Bowser, I'm using also a basic attack. Could but won't use a reroll token here. That is 8, 11, 9 heads, so it deals 14 minus 6, 8. This tails, so it dealt 7 damage. Tails and tails. Tails, so it deals 8 damage. Mario, I'm using actually a golden jar for Luigi. I'm having Luigi use, which means there's 37 here, his ultimate, and for Bowser it's dependent. First double instantly. If I get 5 times, it's just over regardless. At long last it would be over, but not yet, because there would be one more chapter. Ah, just one. I only got 1 doubles. I'm not using a reroll token. That'll be for the final battle. 10, 22, 27, 21 damage. Nah, I'm using slash. Tails, so it only does 2 damage. Tails. Heads. I got tails, so 6 damage to everyone. Screw it. I'm using cat dive. 9 plus 6, 15. For Luigi, I'm using super. I'm gonna use green cyclone. Just go ahead. 7. It was 3 coins for green cyclone. Heads. Tails. Heads. So I got 21, which is 15. So now for Bowser's turn, I'm gonna use Fire Breath to play it safe. 17. It's over. 20. 14 is finally over. Man, that was a long one. So, 77 star points. It's a level up. This is the last level up. Level 17. Everyone's HP is now 90.
And that means that the end result of the entire game is that everyone's HP and FP or SP is 90 HP, 45 FP, which isn't half bad considering the fact that for the final boss battle, that is really good for HP and FP. It's like the at least would have been 80 and 40. 80 HP and 40 FP. Probably even a little bit less than that. But even in Nightmare mode, that would be a little bit trickier because of how many of these things I've used. I think I remembered it was that you can't, there won't be any of these. Level 17, the final level that everyone's able to get. 300 coins and golden leaf, as if the coins mattered, but the golden leaf is a good one. No longer obtainable for sure, but for level ups, they were pretty much obtained.
So, yeah, the final chapter is not really anything, but so much for the healing token because I won't even be able to use it. The final chapter is literally only, if I can get it out from underneath all of this stuff, this. Sorry. So it's 7 spaces, nope, it's 6. 6 spaces, and then the boss space. Just making sure you could see where it's meant to be is Peach's Castle. It's a reference to Bowser's Inside Story, where Peach's Castle was the final place to go in Bowser's Inside Story, and the final boss is nearly the same as that too. Like I said, it's meant to be for the second dice trial, because for the 4th dice trial I had a huge plan for the final boss, and probably the finale being even longer. Which that being said, this will be the finale. Like, this upcoming part will be the finale of the entire dice trial series. Of the entire second dice trial, I mean. So, it is a test of luck to see how far I go. And realizing about the possible rolls, I would literally need a 2, 3, or 4. Otherwise, rolling a 6 just gets me all the way up to the final boss. And I am going to use... I mean, actually, this is just me, because really what the healing spaces are meant to do is heal you all the way up. But what I'm going to use them for is, I'm going to use it for a free shop. And what I'm getting myself is a golden jar per healing space. Because I need more of those than I need HP healing items, since you saw that the Dark Star battle that I had, look how long that battle took me. That just consumed all of my FP healing items. And like I said, I actually have plans for the final boss themes, just that now it's sort of changed because I'm planning on one to be the same as how it was in the Lucky Space from before. And then the other one won't be what I said it would have been. Instead, it just felt cooler to do the other theme that I'm not saying. If anything, even more so, I'm not even going to do... I'll think about it. Because Yeah, I'm gonna record one more part, and that will be the finale part, so that I don't worry about recording anymore, and that all I would worry about then is editing. But to think that I'm already nearing the end of the dice trial, but if anything, the already is really just, it's shocking how long it took me in the terms of parts. So, see you in the final chapter, the finale. And then I won't be uploading. I won't be What is happening? What? I won't be uploading anything for a while. Well, I won't be recording the next boss until, for me, the 10th of June, because on the 10th of June I am going to. I'm going to see what the votes ended up being. Let alone the 10th of June is going to be a big day for me because the 3rd of June was, I think, a Wednesday, and on the other Wednesday I start an experience that I haven't, that, yeah, might as well just say it, that I haven't had in a while. But it would just prove the point of me recording at nights rather than in days. Even more so from the ethic that is happening. It is hard to believe, all the same. Bye-bye. My goodness, the part ended up being like over an hour long, I think, because this part was 3 videos recorded.